Okay. Okay. Welcome, everybody. People are streaming in through the doors.
Yes, people are still arriving.
We could get started.
Actually, we already, hi everyone, already asked you maybe to rename, like with the country, your name and your country, so that we know where is from where. And actually, I can do the same.
Cecile, could you remind me how to do it? So I did the setup long ago. To set up the country. I love the idea.
If you go,
sorry.
Go ahead, Cecile.
No, because we are super excited to focus on the economistas, because we had 60 people. So I think that means quite a lot of countries as well.
Maybe. So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of your image, there's like 3 dots, or maybe you can see it over to the right. You can choose rename to rename yourself. And so while everybody's coming in, you can do that, change your name to reflect where you're coming in from. You can say hello and where you're from in the chat. We're going to be together for a little while. We're going to get to know each other a little bit. We feel this is how we make change in the world, or at least this is our way. We'll explain more about us in a minute. Now, some of you are native Portuguese speakers. And si quieres, temos interpretação. Mel, help me out.
Ok. Para quem fala português, a gente está tendo o canal de interpretação em português. So, if someone here in our group needs the Portuguese interpretation, Renata is here with us, okay?
Fabulous. So, welcome everybody. I think we should probably get started. Cecile or Mel?
Yes, we can actually, more people coming. It's so nice. We wanted to quickly introduce ourselves, the economistas. Maybe not everyone who is entering right now knows what we do and who we are, and what we are doing that kind of meeting. I will maybe start directly. I'm Cecile, part of the Economistas, and I have as well my own association here in Luxembourg called the Co-Creators, and I'm based in Luxembourg. So I pass over to you, Mel.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. I'm based in Rio de Janeiro and Vale das Videiras in Rio de Janeiro. And I integrate the transition towns movement in Brazil and the economy movement in Brazil. And I'm completely in love for these movements. So I'm very, very glad to be here with you and with these wonderful entrepreneurs that are coming together. So nice to meet each one of you. Go to Nicola.
Thank you, Mel. My name is Nicola. I was born in Yugoslavia. I lived in Balkans since 2016. I moved to Switzerland 7 years ago, and since then I work with the Transition Bear movement and some other movements and cooperatives, and I'm a team member of Economy Virtual Community of Practice since many years, and since recently with Cecil, Mel, and Jay, we co-founded Economistas, and I'm happy to be here to see all of you, and I feel honored and touched, and I'm not doing well at the moment, so I will ask you kindly for understanding, and if I'm quiet and silent, just that you know. Thank you. Jay?
Well, thanks everybody for coming. I'm Tom. Yeah, so if everybody, as we gather, please mute yourself. So yes, I'm part of the Economistas as well, and we've been together for a few years. We've done a few things. We're really excited to be running this, our second Trans-Local Entrepreneur Forum and Community of Dragons. First one we did was, I think in I don't even remember now.
19.
Was it 2019? 2019, and it was Cecil's brilliant idea for us to try to do this again. Should I pull up some slides and say more about the Economistas now? Okay. Okay, I think everybody can see these slides. There's probably a way to do that. Okay. So welcome everybody. If you can just be on mute a little bit, that would be great, because we have lots of people coming in. But we wanted to just share a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish. You know, there are lots of folks trying to make change in the world, especially with respect to the economic system, and we feel a close kinship with all of them, really. Mel mentioned that she's been working with transition, and this was the origin of our network, Transition Town Movement. And so from an economics point of view, I think we were always kind of focused on relocalization and decentralization. But we're super pragmatic. And when we look around at ourselves and what we're trying to do on the ground and what our own agency is, you know, we have picked up our approaches and our ideas and our analysis, our theories, our frameworks, our models from many of these movements. We often use the word regenerative. We also feel a close kinship with people who are doing degrowth, and look at what we're doing as the praxis of degrowth in many ways. And we also are very oriented toward social innovation and the kind of innovations that are working to create a more convivial, more ecologically just, more socially just kind of new paradigm. So we're a little bit modest. Having said all that, we're not interested in building, you know, a global, worldwide movement. There's plenty of that kind of energy going on. We're really focused on doing the things that we can do. So we consider ourselves ordinary people, really, in our different places, trying to make a difference on the ground. And let's see. We developed this little manifesto which explains more about our point of view and what we're trying to accomplish. And you can find that on our Open Collective page and maybe also our LinkedIn page. And we can share some of those links as we continue. As I mentioned, we have done this Trans-Local Entrepreneur Forum a few years ago, but we also have been doing lots of other things, really kind of focused on sharing know-how, sharing knowledge, supporting one another. So we've done a number of workshops. This co-dev was one that Cecile ran. It's a co-creative, co-design kind of process, working with local and regenerative entrepreneurs. We've had speaker events, open space events, and we're going to continue doing that kind of thing. And click to advance. So we started thinking about what we were doing and how we were doing it. And I think we've used the word love already. We've really focused on trying to go slow as a network and as a group. We sometimes call this slow innovation, but really we've been focused on supporting one another in our 4 different places. And then it occurred to us that one of the key elements for spreading these innovations that are working on the ground, whether you call them
As inovações que nós estamos trabalhando na base
really
não
has
são
to
nada
do with the know-how
nós vamos
of
fazer, é o know-how.
things, which takes
Estamos
experience.
fazendo essa coisa,
So we've
usando o
been
know-how.
thinking, well,
Então,
what if
nós
we work together in a slightly different
precisamos
way and thought about
trabalhar de
in
outra
our
forma
places? So not
e
just inviting
tornar,
individuals
talhar
from all over the world. How could we in Devon, Rio de Janeiro, Luxembourg, and Bern benefit from the know-how that already is residing in these places, link up with the people who were animating projects for progressive change in these places, learn and support one another. So we call it twinning. We're in very early days in this project, but doing this Trans-Local Entrepreneur Forum is another way of expressing this kind of cross-border reciprocity and solidarity, and maybe cross-border conviviality too. Is that my, oh, yeah, so this is us again and some of our other friends. I think I've run out of things to say, except that please join us. Link up to our Open Collective page or social media pages. Keep your eyes open for other things. Suggest things if you want to be involved. As I said, we're really interested in building more of this kind of peer-to-peer, place-to-place kind of connection. Maybe this is something that that you want to be involved with in these places, or maybe you're coming into this event from another place entirely, and maybe there's an opportunity to link up and grow the constellation. So, okay, I've kind of rambled a bit, Cecile, but that was my attempt at introducing us.
Thanks. No, thanks very much. And if there are any questions, of course, you can join us anytime. And Nicola, maybe you can put all the links to our I know that you have kind of, all to our social media and so on in the chat. And actually, I will hand over to Mel, because now that you know each other, we would be very happy that you, of course, to know who you are and to give you the opportunity to meet each other. Mel, you can.
Okay. Well, everybody, now we are going to put you all in different rooms so you can have this opportunity to get a little bit closer from this little group of people that are here together. Let's see here. If someone has, I'm going to put everybody in a random group. If someone has difficulty with the language, just come back and I put you together with some Portuguese speaker, if this is all right, okay? Can we do this? Okay? Okay, let's go. We are going to have at least 20 minutes together to get to know, so people can tell everybody from where you were joined, and why are you here, and what does regenerative entrepreneurship mean to you? I'm going to put these questions in the chat right now. I think someone did. Is it right? Okay. Yeah, no, thank you, Jay. Thank you. And this is the main thing that you guys are going to talk about, okay? And then I'm going to bring you back to this main room here. Okay, ready? It's just to accept the room where you're going to, okay?
Number 1.
Okay, going there.
Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, or I think that's everybody. I don't know if there's anybody stuck in a room somewhere. One of the things that I've really appreciated about our little experience over the last many years as the Economistas is that we meet every couple of weeks, we check in with each other, and we look for ways to do things that are very, very light touch. And we really believe in this and try to follow it. And so this event is kind of coming together magically, wouldn't you say, Mel and Cecile? It may look like we've invested 100 or 200 person hours into this event, but we haven't. So should we get on with the event? So what we're going to do for the next 15 minutes is we invited everyone who was interested to just make a very quick 30-40 second presentation about what they do, and you could put your information, your website and things like that into the chat. And we'll just do that for 15 minutes or so, just give some people a chance to say a bit more about their awesome projects. And then we're going to get into the pitching and the community of dragons. This is the real heart of this event. And so we'll explain more about how all that works in a minute. We'll do these lightning presentations for 15 minutes, and then we'll dive into that. And by the way, I hope you all appreciated getting to know one another too. I think that's an important first step in creating the kind of economic change that I think many, if not all of us, are interested in doing. So,
I forgot to introduce actually Ikram. She's with me, and she's like kind of a timekeeper to be sure that that everyone will have anyone who wants to present. Right now, she has a little. Maybe Ikram, you can see that. Ding ding ding, so that the people know that they are maybe over 1 minute or something like that, and so that gives more space to everyone during that 15 minutes. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, so a few people signed up. Rayanne Esteves, Tres Gracias. Are you in the house? No. Okay. Who's next? Jonathan Dawson from Schumacher College and Gaia Education. Jonathan, are you in the house? I know Jonathan, and he might still be trying to figure out how to use his computer. I don't know. Okay. Andrew Crosby. Andrew. Oh, you're kidding. Andrew, you're not here. Goodness gracious. Celia Regina Fontes, Colectivo Alcalme, are you here?
Maybe they are mute.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm looking around. I don't see.
Could it be some problem with the conversion, the time conversion?
Time conversion? Oh, maybe.
Com o fuso horário?
How about Tony Diaz, Movimento de Inovação? Okay, well, while they're sorting things out, Roman, where are you? Do you want to say a couple words about your project and put some information into the chat?
You mean me?
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you, Jay. Hello. Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Romain. I live in France, in the southeast of France. I really enjoy to be here with you and just to meet you and to meet all these maybe nice projects, regenerative projects. I've been doing for 4 years before some regenerative or trying to be regenerative project in my city with a citizen movement that we build, and we were elected with the citizen policy movement. We were elected to the local election in 2020, and after this period, we tried to do some regenerative project like to rewild the city, and to do also regenerative social thing. And right now I quit so I was advising the mayor of the city on the democracy side, and right now I quit the administration, and I'm building an incubator, a project incubator for engaged companies. And so right now I'm on the maybe 7 months. Yeah, for 7 months I was creating it for now, and right now I'm putting this project in the end of the engaged companies of my city. And so I'm actually helping a cultural center in Paris. The name is La Gaieté Lyrique, to be regenerative, and other companies. And I would be glad to share with you all the what I'm doing, what I try to do, and to learn about your project, about what you are doing, and yeah, and just let's exchange together.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Roman. Put put your URL, put your website address in the chat so people can come and find you. Asher, you also signed up for this, so let's put the spotlight on you if we can. And
yeah, great. Hi, thank you. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, so you have like 45 seconds.
Okay. Okay, so I've started up a company locally in Totnes, South Devon e-bikes, and I'm focusing on custom-built e-bike conversions that are fit for Devon's hills. The hills are prohibitively steep. Lots of people like to get out in the countryside, but they don't. People just have their bikes sitting around generally. E-bikes are really expensive, and often conversions are unsuccessful or not even safe. So I've done over a dozen conversions in the last year, and I realized there's really a demand for it. So I'm doing personalized conversions. I'm doing them for about a quarter to a third the cost of conversions in shops for a similar kind of spec, all guaranteed and all safe and reliable. I'm working, I don't have the funds to get a nice flash workshop in town. So what I actually need is to be able to move from my garage workshop, which is working fine, but I don't have any power. I don't have running water. It's on a little estate where there's garages, and I could really do with a workshop that has facilities, that preferably has some visibility in town. That would really help. I could also do with advice on local advertising and support. And if anyone wanted to invest, so that I had systems there, I had a stock of systems in place that would make everything even more affordable, and just generally local support.
Awesome.
That's my pitch.
Awesome. Well, put your information in the chat.
Yeah.
Anybody else sign up for these lightning pitches? I don't see anybody else on the list. Should we move into the big pitches and the community of dragons? I'm getting a nod from Cecile. So, Cecile, should we explain how this works?
Yes, sure. Do you want me to, actually you are the founder. You are the one who
really
imagined, you are the father of the forum,
okay.
The concept.
I guess I will own that.
And I was inspired by you. This is why I organized a forum here in Luxembourg. And this is all about why the training project would work, to be inspired from another country and said, gosh, that's so nice and powerful. And this is actually what happened between our countries, Jay, and with that specific event. So maybe do you want to?
Yes. So we've been doing this kind of thing in Totnes since 2012. And we've done a couple of these in Luxembourg now. Mel, you've done one of these in Rio. We have friends in Japan who've run this kind of thing, and in the United States and elsewhere in Britain. I think maybe even a few other places too. And it really is about connection. And it's premised on the idea that if all of us participate in economic change in ways that go beyond simply being a consumer, simply being an employee, simply being a Wall Street investor, but really invest ourselves in this change and in regenerative enterprises in our communities that are going to benefit our communities in some way, whether it's a teeny weeny little village or a big region, then this event in this format is one way that we can do that. And so it was great to hear you sharing your story, Asher and Roman. And this is a big part of this process and weaving together these kinds of connections and relationships. And so these next round of pitches are bigger pitches with bigger asks. And we've got 4 awesome regenerative enterprises who are pitching from Devon, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Brazil. And so these are what we might call trans-local enterprises. So they're local, but also reach beyond borders, either conceptually or in actual fact. And so they're pitching to get to the next level. They're pitching to help create something new. And they're going to be sharing their stories. Each of them has 5 minutes and 5 slides. So if you've done this kind of thing before, you know that's a huge amount of time. And if you've never done it before, it's really scary because it doesn't seem like hardly any time at all, which I totally get. Both points of view are valid. So we're going to hear from 4 of these folks. And I'm from Devon, so I'll introduce the Devon one. Mel will introduce the one from Vale das Videiras. And Cecile will introduce the one from Luxembourg, and Nicola will introduce the one from Switzerland. And then we'll have 5 minutes. And then after each pitch, we have a couple more minutes for Q&A. So clarifying questions. Be crisp in your questions and be crisp in your answers too, I would suggest, pitchers. And then after we've done those 4, then we're going to convene the community of dragons. And this is the beautiful part. So this is the part where each of us gets to invest ourselves, our gifts, our expertise, our privileges, our good wishes in supporting these projects. And in the past, in my experience, we've seen everything from, hugs and cakes and massages to like hundreds of thousands of, well, maybe I'm exaggerating there, not hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands of pounds. Anyway, am I leaving anything out there, Cecile?
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay, so let's have some fun. And when we open up the community of dragons, I'll explain more about how that works. So Nicola, would you like to introduce Cerca Designs?
Yes, Jay, I will be happy. Actually, I am happy to introduce you. Tom, I don't see him on the picture. Yeah, and I found you, Tom. So Tommy and we are coming from Switzerland. I met Tom through an exhibition that is called Fintopia. Fintopia explores one of the main drivers of our action, actually, money, and what happens if we change the rules of the game and that we take care about the planet and about human beings and not about the profit. So I had this privilege to work with Tom's partner, Miriam, whom I met through another organization that is called Colaboratio Helvetica. But today we will present work of Cerca Design, and Tom can say something more about himself and about Cerca. So Tom, welcome. I'm happy to hear more from you.
Thank you.
Remember, you have 5 minutes, 5 slides, and I think we have a timekeeper, right? So
okay. Well, I didn't know about the 5 slides, so I have got more slides, but I knew about the 5 minutes. So try to be short. Trying to share my screen. And I hope you can see it. Okay. So this is about Cerca. Cerca, I'm co-founder, co-lead, and I'm coming from the design profession. And what we do at Cerca is we explore and develop for the future. So we want to support solutions that create benefit in the social and ecological levels. We are creatives for commons, so we believe in a professionality in work, but we are doing non-profit work. So this is also about how can we live from our work. That's probably the regenerative part, or the possibly also the pitch part of it. That's our business model is yet to be developed. So what we want to do is really systemic change and apply the creative power of design and bring together different disciplines to co-innovate, so something can change for better. I'll skip that. So what we are doing is we're not working as a service for the industry, but we put ourselves in the middle, in between the private sector, non-profits and public sector, and try to really be an intermediate between these players and help them with the creative part. So you were also talking about it too, Jay. This is about social innovation. This is about design for systems and not about products. What we are doing right now is we have activities that are about the design profession itself. It's about examining and self-reflecting what design does, also in terms of consumerism and growth. And we try to promote alternatives, especially within specific associations of design. We just were co-founders of Donut Economics Switzerland, and we're also in schools and universities to promote a different approach, a non-consumerism approach to design. The second thing is we're about climate adaptation in urban areas. So we try to integrate heat mitigation, biodiversity, and urban quality. And we're also right now founding an interdisciplinary expert collective, national network, and a think and do tank for this topic. We're also exploring the water cycles. That's also a very regenerative part of our work, where we try to reuse wastewaters, bring them back into the loop, where we're also working together with major research facilities in Switzerland, and also try to make some pilot projects on that topic. And what Nicola was referring to is economy innovation, which right now I'm in here in the exhibition right now on site to really push the discussion of people. What does money do in our world? What is our current conception of economy, and how can we transform that for a better future? To really see where are the mechanics of money, where are the mechanics of our financial systems that are bad for planet, and bring up some visions how we could do it in a better way. So our main thing is to work with futures, with desirable futures. I'll skip that a bit. And I have a plea for you here as economistas, as regenerative entrepreneurs, to see future as a client. So we always try to imagine her like incarnate sitting in the room, future, as a woman. We think she's a female. And we when we're developing our project or when we're presenting our project, we think future should be happy what we're doing, what we're doing in our professional everyday life. And our plea and our pitch is actually to you to do that also, because we think that really helps to make better projects, make better business, be a better entrepreneur. So that's what Cerca is about. I think there are a lot of questions left, what Cerca is. I want to close with why that name. So Cerca is an Italian term, which means seek. And there is also the saying cerca trova, which means seek and you shall find. And there's also a Spanish term, cerca, which then means we're close, we're quite close to it. So I think this whole thing is about optimism and getting to a point where we can create a better world. So thank you very much for this pitch. I don't know if I was quick or slow, whatever, I'm through. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And you can put your details in the chat.
I will.
And any questions for Tom? Any clarifying questions?
Actually, I do have a question, Emanuele Santi from Luxembourg. Is this a no-profit? I mean, how do you finance yourselves? What's your business model? I mean, I don't know if that's a quick question, but how do you engage with entities?
Yeah. We have the first and most important thing why we founded Cerca was that we didn't want to be dependent on the industry. So we want to work on topics we find relevant. And that's the first project phase. We're always trying to fund with foundations or public money that has an interest in basis project, and then try to involve industry later, so they also contribute to that. But mostly it's foundation and public money that we're working with.
Fabulous. Any other questions? Nicola.
But yes, so far as I understood, you are working also with Verwaltung, like how do you call it in English, and civil sector and
public sector,
civil sector, and private companies as a facilitator, like or design the processes.
Yes. We try to have a really multi-stakeholder perspective. And yeah, I think the big difference between classical facilitators is that we are really trying to make concrete, creative project out of it, where you get really results that are tangible, which is also a lot of our work. So it's not just about like moderating workshops, but also to really create ideas, visualize these ideas, even bring some pilot projects on track.
And my question would be then, do you have some municipalities that you work with, like Gemeinden?
Yeah, with the city of Zurich, for example. And we're also at the moment in discussing with the BAFU, which is the Federal Department for Environmental Issues.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Let's give it up for Tom and Cerca, everybody.
Great, Tom. I want to meet you.
Yes.
Me too.
Remember to put your your contact info and things like that in the chat. We're going to try to facilitate connection as much as possible, and we'll come back around when the community of dragons is convened. Mel, Cecile, do you want to?
I'm okay. I can introduce our. We are a smaller country. I start. I'm joking. I will introduce actually Emanuele, who is he's Italian but based in Luxembourg, and I met him really recently, and I love this project. And actually, everything started in a garage, in his garage. I won't say more. So he didn't do another apple, but something really nice with a lot of colors. And I hand you the floor, Emmanuel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to this. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And I hope you can see the screen as well.
Maybe you can have presented as a slide.
Okay, hold on a second.
Do you see the presenter next to?
Yeah, presenter. Yes.
You can immediately. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, this initially started in a garage in a very spontaneous way. With the war in Ukraine, started pushing millions of children across Europe. And we started with a bike. My kids all outgrown bikes, and I decided to just with them to give away to young refugees. The joy in the eyes of these people that were coming. My garage struck me so much that I decided to offer my garage as a collection distribution place for bikes for refugees. And from that, I saw that something special was happening in the garage, particularly when people were meeting directly. And so, and then we decided to develop this new vision and leveraging technology to multiply that direct meeting that was taking in the garage. And we developed this.
I don't think we can hear the audio.
Oh, you cannot?
I think when you share your slides, or when you share your screen, you have to click a little radio button for audio.
Oh, hold on a second. Ouch.
Is it Emanuele? Is it on?
Yes, I'm not sure I can do that. But anyway, maybe I'll just send the link. I think it's easier because I don't know how to do this. But anyway, I'm gonna send you the link so you can maybe watch it. But the whole idea of it, can you see the screen now?
You need to share your screen again. I mean, if you want people to see it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Share the screen. Here we go. Apologies for that.
Excuse me, can anyone explain to Portuguese channel to tell me if it's working? Would you mind, please?
This presenta. Okay. There we go. So we created this app that allows
Então, esse que nós criamos permite ajudar as pessoas que podem ajudar. Estamos sendo fundadores, mas também
culture of solidarity. So people basically what they do, they post an item on the map, and it says, yeah, I have a stroller to give away or football gears to give away, and then refugees that also sign up on the same app just come and connect and collect the item by a place that is mutually agreed. Imagine like an Airbnb where people don't, instead of giving away their house, they actually give an object, and the object often becomes a bridge to integration. A lot of kids were able to be placed in football clubs here in Luxembourg because parents of those giving away their footballs or football cleats ended up having a kid that is playing in the football team. And so people find jobs through this. So we realized that by facilitating the direct giving, we were actually creating even more integration. The project has already achieved, is given, a new leap of life to around 800 objects, and it has helped concretely 800 children, around 36 nationalities, refugees of all kinds of countries, 50 countries involved. Of course, we are expanding it to other countries. Luxembourg has a big majority of the activities, and that's one of the reasons why we want to have this call, is directly see how we're going to potentially expand it to other countries, other communities. We are also engaging with about 50 organizations, and we have around over 1,800 users of the app. And each of those numbers, I mean, they seem to be like not huge numbers, but each of the number is actually a story of a person that meets and opens up their mind. And one of the stories that I always like to tell is a story of my own son. Age of 14, one day he comes back home and says, "Hey, Daddy, I bumped into some Syrian refugees, and I helped them carry the luggages to the refugee camp." And I was like, well, I mean, how many kids at the age of 14 will actually be able to recognize a refugee, know where the refugee camp is, and have the empathy and compassion to just give him help? And of course, because he's a heavy user of the app, and he himself has brought some items to the refugee camp, so that's how he familiarized with the refugee camp and with the whole story of the refugees. So we developed this, but we want to go beyond just the circular economy element. But we felt that by having something in people's pockets, we could create a real, true solidarity hub, where also organizations can advertise, send alerts over their activities or the events, but also be able to, connect volunteering opportunities, appeals, and so really, because what we realize that when people come and having the interactions, they want to do something right away, but then they get lost into the daily life and finding out how they can be helpful. But being able to send in your pocket an information about a cool event happening in your town, a solidarity event or volunteering opportunity can be a way to maximize that little more small time span that people have for doing something cool. Then one other big project that we have, and we're looking really from serious partners, is to create a chatbot, a first solidarity chatbot, really an instant multilingual virtual guides that can help everyone who needs help. Of course, it was the whole starting point was refugees, because they're the ones that more are in need of information when they land into a country, where to find shelter, where to find language courses and so on, but also for the donors or the local residents who want to help. There's a lot of chatbot out there, but if you want to do help, and then you get really lost, and the idea is to make it easier for people to serve the needy and also the local residents who want to help. So there's a lot of ways that we can leverage on. Cecile told me to do like 4 bullet points, but there's probably so much. And as I speak in more conversations, I mean, learn about all of you. I mean, this list could extend even more longer than this. First of all, for those on Luxembourg, just use the app. Just download it today and just start using it and give me feedback. And then if you're planning events around circular economy, this is a great learning tool also for kids, that they can get, they can see the circular economy in their own hands. Invite us to speak to your group, church groups or community groups, anyone. For those who are in other cities, I mean, if you like the project, you liked what this is bringing, be our champion. Use this. This is a tool. It already exists. You can, even if you want to download and donate something, just you can be there. But of course, to build a community around it, to have a massive outreach, you need an organization. You need more than just an individual. You need an organization that can pull influentials and others. So if you do, yes. Sorry, am I over time?
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah. And then for everyone, just sponsor, give me feedback, expertise. Just look at it and reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Emanuele. Anyway, I mean, now we are in the Q&A, and maybe you can, still develop. It depends if anyone in the room has a question and to this really amazing project. Actually, I have a bike from my 6-year-old daughter that I can actually give.
Do it today.
So that will be my contribution. Yeah, exactly. But yes, so I don't know if there is any question. Everyone understood the concept?
I just wanted to acknowledge
Wants to
the
know.
presence in the room also of Tanya. I think he's there. Tanya, she's a project manager from Ukraine. She's the.
Hi, everyone. I'm here.
Thank you
Hi,
for joining.
Tanya.
You
Any
want me
question?
to tell something?
I know that Tanya just shared the link from the video that you couldn't play, so anyone can watch it afterwards.
Yes, I also sent the link to the website. If you're interested in our project, you can check more information on the website. Yeah.
Yes, and I can see that Mel, she said that it would be nice to have the instruction how to access the app, and yes, to have a little know-how.
We have presentation with detailed instruction for organization who wants to be a part our solidarity map. So you can send us email or message, and we will send it to you.
Okay. So maybe I have still one question for your project, Emanuele, because I saw on your website that you already have quite a lot of partners from Luxembourg. So it's really nice that that you got already that a lot of support. And how did you manage? From when did you start it? And did you immediately got like partners for the project?
No, it has been a sort of a snowball effect, right? And we got energies from volunteers and people, and especially now that we have created this new functionality. It's actually Tanya's baby, this solidarity map that we started, because at the beginning the app was just between local residents and refugees, but now also organizations can sign up and they can also interact. And so that got organizations very excited, because we realized that there was a big information asymmetry also between organizations and even the refugees that they were trying to serve, but also the local residents. So now the organizations are just rushing up to sign up, and they want to be visible in the map. They want to be visible. They want to alert us on the events that they're doing. And now we're becoming a bit of a, because the value of this is in your pocket, right? And it can save a lot of money, and it's very targeted, because the people are 1,000, like nearly 2,000 users are people that are very clear, distinct category. They are people who, care about this stuff. It's not just like random person that wants to get rid of a bike, but it's someone who wants to meet the person that receives in the bike. So that's someone that has a certain attitude towards giving, which is different, right? And so we want to build also that culture of direct solidarity, because a lot of people are afraid of refugees, right? We receive in Europe so much negative narrative about refugees, and people, especially in this part of the world, tend to be happy to be in their little bubble, right? They're happy to dump something somewhere. And that's what we discovered in our garage. When people were coming to our garage, they were meeting people, and then meeting with people were pushing them to be really extraordinary on the day, and just like helping. So that's the kind of human connections that we want to reestablish in a world where a lot of organizations almost have a monopoly of the charity, and then we want to make charitable actions to be everyone's business.
Thanks, Emanuele. I think we'll go maybe for the third pitch, and I don't know if maybe I can pass to you.
Yes. Well, everybody. I'm bringing here. I'm introducing to you Barbara Pellegrini. She is a great, a wonderful woman that I got to know like 3 years ago when I moved to Vale das Videiras. And she's a power of nature. She's amazing. So I'm very glad to be the one that it's bringing and presenting her. So Bárbara, she's going to share with us about Viveiro Muda Tudo. And she's going to tell us what she's doing right now to change the biomas, the systems, our regional systems in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro specifically. Go, Bárbara.
Hi, everyone. Good day to everybody. My English is not so good, but I think it's good enough for as the presentation will help. Can I start sharing the screen?
Yeah, we can do that. Did you? Okay.
That you guys are in front of my button.
Do you think you can?
Huh?
Do you think you can expand your presentation? What is it?
Yeah, I don't see it as I see every day.
Hold on a second. Want me to present to you so you can speak?
Could you? Yes.
Yeah, I can do this. Okay, hold on a second. Okay.
Okay. So I will present a seedling nursery from a Brazilian Atlantic forest seeds in Petrópolis in the mountains, 100 kilometers from Rio de Janeiro city. Yeah. The name Muda Tudo means it plays with words, and muda in Portuguese is both seedlings and change. So I kind of translated as seedlings of change. So it's established and open for the public. People can visit. Don't need to buy anything, but just visit and talk and learn more. And our dream is raising awareness about nature. So we want an emancipated society that understands it is part of nature and that acts in harmony with all other natural beings, not only people, human beings, but everything. So what we do is to get to there is we produce more than 350 species, native species. Excuse me. I lost the presentation. And we have a lot more to produce, as in Rio de Janeiro state, we have 1,800 species of trees, and we are not talking about trees only in a forest. We are talking a lot about a lot of forms of life. So we kind of start producing more and more everything we find to show people how biodiverse the nature is and how much we have to do. And we also participate in councils. In Brazil, we have councils that are created by law that allow people to tell and highlight the points that we have to bring. So we have to emphasize the importance of the base of the chain of reforestation and we have to talk about the laws and also talk about the behavioral change. Petrópolis is a city that suffers a lot with rains and sliding. We have 300,000 people, and a lot of people lose their houses every summer. So it's it's a great problem here. And we work with local initiatives. And our aim is bringing all the matters that influence life on Earth. Everything that influences life on Earth, we talk about and we support. So the diversity we produce bring us to the importance of reforestation of the ecological processes. It starts with the soil. I mean, about the forest. It starts about changing ourselves also. But in this matter, we have to bring the soil alive again, and then bring all forms of life. And we have a large diversity of species because of this. And we are also committed to offering the data we produce to research and flora research, and also the interaction, the relation with the fauna, flora and fauna, who eats what, when it's available, and who lives close to who, and stuff like that, that Academy needs information, and we have plenty. And we also do local engagement. So our problem is that seedlings are not valued as they should, because the people who plant are not committed to nature. They have money in their minds, and they have to pay obligations. So the other thing is that we work with many skills that are complex, expensive, and unnoticed. So the price of a seedling is not is not equal with the price people want to pay for it. And we have plenty of information that has to be professionally stored to enable its utilization on academic research, and also to public policy definition. So seedlings as ours are not cost-effective, yes. So we want raising participation of different skills, people with different skills who want to visit here and help us. And we also want to incorporate all our data in an app that we already have. But our information is not there yet because there are very few people here. And we want to improve our communication in social media. We don't have good social media yet, just Instagram. And we want help to project design for fundraising.
I'm sorry, Barbara?
Yes.
You're going over time.
I'm sorry. My English is pretty bad. Next.
You're doing fine, Barbara.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay. I have the requests, but okay. We can offer. So we need help. We need help with the database, and we have to send all the samples we have and we collect to herbariums. And we would like to use better the premise we have with projects and in holidays and weekends and vacations. And we would appreciate if somebody could help us with our social media channels.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Amazing. Any questions for Barbara?
I want to say to Barbara that your English is much better than my Portuguese. So thank you very much for trying to speak in English. So
thank you.
Well, if there are no other clarifying questions, I think that was a very clear ask at the end, and we could probably think of more opportunities to get involved and support you. So, hey, everybody, let's give it up for Barbara and Mulutulu.
Hi.
One of the things I've really appreciated about my experience with the Economistas is being exposed to so many different points of view and cultural contexts. And I really appreciate that. I get some of that from my involvement in Schumacher College too. And I'm really... Pardon?
It's a good transition.
That's a good transition. Yeah. Well, I'm really stoked, if I can say that, just to add in a bit more multicultural flavor. I'm totally stoked that we have a group from Schumacher College who's going to present, and this includes people who are here at Schumacher College in Devon, and also people who are associated with it in some way as an alumni or as a student or faculty or what have you in other places. And I think, Joe, you're coming to us from the dawn and from the dawn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce, I think, Joe, Georgina, Hayden, and Anna from Schumacher College. So over to you.
Thank you kindly. And we have Kat, who's going to do our presenting.
Thanks, Joe.
As well.
Yeah, I'll be doing the slide sharing and hand you over to Joe, Anna, and Georgina. So you might want to pin me actually.
Yes, please.
Joe.
Lovely. All righty then. Well, thank you all, and welcome to our pitch. So we, as Jay mentioned, represent a current student, staff member, and alumni of Schumacher College. And to get us going here, we'd like to invite you to first take just a moment here to imagine what resilient, eco-centric, holistic education offers. And when our team undertook this same imagining, these were some of the terms that came up for us. We were unanimous in our beliefs that small-scale, eco-centric learning is not merely good for the learning community, but vital to our global need for systems change. Today, we're proposing a project that will actively explore what's emerging in the already existing learning spaces, build stronger networks between them, and contribute to transformation towards holistic education on a global scale.
Schumacher College is a learning community based in Southwest England that has spent the last 30 years innovating an ecocentric learning environment that focuses on holistic education for development of visionary pioneers capable of addressing the core challenges of our times and moves towards ecocentric ways of being. The college has been instrumental in the development of systems change, regenerative thinking, social and ecological justice, and place-bound learning exchange. It is at this moment facing a crisis which might see it close.
Small, holistic, regenerative learning spaces are few and far between, and many find themselves increasingly in extremely precarious positions in the face of economic, political, and social upheaval. Schumacher College's current experience is a crucial example of how the survival of these vital learning spaces require an alternate model to the dominant global north educational paradigm. We want to foster a network that enables ecologically grounded learning spaces to thrive through connection, community, and solidarity, supporting learners, educators, and alumni to fulfill their potential as change makers and innovators that can nourish a more regenerative and ecocentric paradigm. What we propose is not only to support Schumacher College alone, but support for the kind of pedagogy and ethos it embodies. And we believe this is vital for the future.
And what we're pitching today isn't really a solution so much as a project to help us collaboratively find solutions. We believe in the power of community as a force for good. Community can grow resilient networks of change where individuals, institutions, and communities can be supported to discover diverse solutions that are adaptable, malleable, and locally focused. We want to create the right conditions for this network to grow and thrive in amongst these often tumultuous shifting tides.
We have all made a lifelong commitment to the work of systems change, and together pool expertise that span education, research, professional development, community facilitation, cultural leadership, and efforts to alter the stories and mythology of our current dominant narratives in order to support a relational way of living where we can once again identify ourselves as part of nature.
Our experiences at Schumacher are fundamental to our skills and passion for this work. We know firsthand the power of small, holistic learning experiences, and we will work passionately to not only protect institutions providing this kind of pedagogy, but to enable them to thrive.
To create this resilient, regenerative, and holistic learning network, we need several key things to help this project bear fruit. We believe there are many here who can help support us in this. Funding to support the research and development team, individuals to join us as an advisory board for the project, and crisis support for current students and staff at Schumacher College.
The provision of this support will enable us to move into the next stage of development. From here, we'll then move into a research period, looking at the long-term vision of the network and how it can function. If provided with support for current staff and students at Schumacher College, we'll also be able to set up and run a crisis provision in early 2024, supporting those affected as efficiently as possible.
Well, we thank you so dearly for joining us on this journey, and we welcome questions from you on this project. And we really do look forward to discussing how you can support this in any way possible. So thank you.
Amazing. Any questions for Schumacher?
I have one. At what age do people can start that college? Can I send my 6-year-old daughter?
There did used to be 6-year-olds here. There are lots of amazing schools nearby for younger children, but 18 is the age really that people can come here. So we'll look forward to, in 12 years, meeting your daughter.
I'll be there.
It might be fair to say that many who are enrolled at Schumacher College do possess a kind of childlike quality.
Very true.
We have a couple of more questions lining up. The first one is from Barbara.
Oh, yeah. I would like to ask whether you want to send the students to Brazil. I would be happy to receive them here.
Oh, lovely. Well, part of we didn't really have space to go into the depth of Schumacher's many sprouting tendrils, but there is Brazil Escola Schumacher that does exist in Brazil. So there is a little network in Brazil that is active that's still directly connected to Schumacher and Devon as well. But yes, we would love to build relationships. And this is really what we're looking to do, is how to support the regenerative movement in all ways beyond just higher education learning.
Fabulous. There will be opportunities to make offers like that, Barbara, in just a minute. Thank you for your question. Now we have a question from Vladimir.
Hi, thank you. I would like to know, as you mentioned, that Schumacher College is in a kind of crisis. To what extent you plan to involve the alumni of Schumacher, because this is a huge untapped potentiality, whether it is related to Gaia Education or Capra course or California Institute of Integral Studies. All these platforms, they simply have maybe 10 or 20 years history. That means hundreds of people who go through this type of unique initiation. And very often, this is my experience from my own alma mater. Simply, many of those people are lost to the possibility of cooperation. So I wonder how you plan to work with this.
Yeah, it's a very important question, and really that is the gap we're trying to kind of address, in that the continuation of the learning process and the transformative humbling down and decentering the human kind of learning that we're doing, reintegrating with nature, like all the institutions you just spoke to. We all go through these transformative learning processes, and then what, right? We land back into business as usual. We land back into life as it is. And so a part of what we're proposing here and inviting in to this conversation and plan is to build a robust network of these alumni communities that are across the country, of Europe and the States and worldwide. Because the potential is just, I mean, as you said, it's rich. We have 20,000 plus alumni from Schumacher alone who are doing all sorts of things. And when Jay was previously talking with us, we kind of had this metaphor of realizing that there's a very dormant seeds of potential that we can help water and nourish. And Schumacher as an entity and as an alumni community, we're already and have been actively working on this for about 2 years. There's been many iterations, but really right now, this is part of the proposal and call to action, is how do we consolidate and build solidarity between networks of alumni and students as well, so that they can come in and have this support stream too, right?
Amazing. Any other questions for Schumacher? They've just popped an email address in the chat. Okay, so let's move things along. First, I want to just say muito obrigada. Thank you very much to Renata, who's been interpreting this whole time. That's such hard work. How are you doing, Renata? I think she's collapsed. Anyway, Renata, thank you so much for this hard work. So we're gonna convene the community of dragons now, And Mel or Cecile, you chip in anytime. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking.
I would just actually, Jay, that you are saying that because we have been like sitting in close to 4 o'clock, but I would like to invite everyone to stand up behind their screen just to warm up for the community of Dragon. And yes, because sitting on all the time like that, and actually if you're okay, just to stretch your arm and at the back as well, a little bit. And your neck as well, you can move from side on the side. And for the final, just maybe put your arm like that. And if everybody does it, you can see that the arms touch the screen of the other one. So it's kind of long chain, and this is what we are doing right now with that event. It's to hold each other hand and help each other. And this is all about the community of Dragon. That will be, we are lucky because we are together here. And yes, this is how we can, around the world, hold each other and hope that the community of Dragon may help the project that have been pitched. So thank you for taking part of that little break.
Love you, Cecile.
Thank you, Cecile.
I love the idea.
You know, this past summer when we were, well, Cecile organized this amazing event, the Local Entrepreneur Forum and Community of Dragons in Luxembourg. And I was so impressed at how beautiful it was, and including the music and the song. So I really appreciate all that very sort of convivial and loving energy that you bring into all of this work.
I love you, Jane.
Oh, I love you too, Cecile. It's, you know, it's one of those, I'm looking at your face, Anna. No, it's one of those things that, you know, when you let it flow and it becomes all about the relationships that you have with somebody else, which is why we talk this way, and we've grown used to talking this way. And it makes the collaboration just so much more fun. It feels like we're really making a difference. We're not stressing out about, you know, taking responsibility for changing the whole world. We're just having a good time, enjoying each other, learning, and trying to do things in our communities and together here in this growing international community. So thank you all. So that's kind of a good lead in as well to the community of dragons. So, you know, many of us are involved in activism. Many of us are involved in trying to change the world. And there are a lot of things that we might find ourselves very willing to do. March in a protest, write a letter to a politician, try to buy the greenest product on the shelf. Well, this offers another way for us to practice real solidarity and real reciprocity and real conviviality. So we're going to walk through each of the 4 projects again. And this is your opportunity to offer some support. And, you know, this is a big experiment. It might not have always been clear what people were asking for, but if you got a sense of what they were about, then just look into your own imagination and your own hearts to determine what you might be able to offer to help this project become a success. It could be a cake, although just keep in mind the distances involved. So, you know, keep that in mind. Anything else I should explain, Mel or Cecile?
No, I think you said it all.
So there is one more thing. I'm just going to fetch it real quick, and that is, how do we know what people have offered? So if you look in the chat right now, there's a Google form. And so we'll go one by one through each of the 4 projects. It would be great if you have something to offer, if you raised your hand and said, oh, I'd like to offer Tom a cake the next time I'm in Switzerland. Then I will put that in the Google form, put my name down, put my email address down, put the thing that I'm offering, and then this will give Tom an opportunity to write me an email and say, hey, Tom, or hey, Jay, thanks for offering me that cake. When are you coming to Switzerland? And oh, by the way, when you come, I have a guest room. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know, Tom. I'm not trying to finagle a free holiday in Switzerland for me, but this is how it works. Mel.
Jay, the form it's asking for permission, so we should open it.
Okay, let me see if I know how to do that. So give me 1 second here. So that's asking for, permission.
Sometimes it must be just open to be answered. People can, to authorize people to answer.
From my point of view, it looks like it is, and I'm sorry if I have not.
It's still asking for permission.
Does anybody know how? Let's see.
Maybe you could share your screen with us.
I think it's when you actually share the link that you have some sort of from going back to your own link. And if you, the moment you share it, you can make it editable or accessible or whatever.
Well, this comes from Google Forms. And I've never had this problem before, so I don't really know what to make of it.
Do you have it on Word, let's say? You can email it to someone and you know, I guess you can email it to me. I can try.
Okay, so
but otherwise typically is when you actually do the share and that originates the link from your own thingy there, from your own Word, then it's where you determine the kind of sharing properties.
All right, try it now. Maybe I just changed something that works. Still no works. Still doesn't work. Okay, well, tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to forget about that. You can, if you feel comfortable sharing your email address, then share it in the chat along with whatever you're offering. For each of the folks who have pitched, you can put your email address into the chat, and then if you're offering something, you can send it directly to the people who have pitched. Does that make sense? So Barbara, you've added yours into the chat. So let's try it that way. And sorry about the form not working. So first up, Tom and Cherka Design. So Tom, what kind of support were you asking for?
Well, hard to say. Of course, we're heavily underfunded, but I think just collecting money here is not the topic and it won't work. But what I think is really interesting is have also international collaborations, because thinking about systems and also working multi-stakeholder wise is something that has to open perspective, open the look or the view on different cultures dealing with different things. So we're really interested in connections, in relations, and be internationally collaborative. And if someone wants to coach us business case wise, how we could like improve our incomes in terms of having a steady flow of money that helps us work, of course, welcome.
Okay, are there any offers of
and cakes? I do love cakes.
Next time I come to Switzerland, I will make you a cake for sure.
Great.
Me
now,
too.
I heard you say before you were looking for help with a business model. So are there any business modeling experts who see an opportunity here to have a productive chat with Tom? If you do, just indicate that in the chat, with
Perhaps me?
Yes.
Perhaps I could use this help.
Okay, we'll come around.
And I could offer a housing here for everybody who wants to come to visit and help me here with the seedling nursery. I have a beautiful eco everything house that I just built.
Okay, we'll come back around to you in just a second.
Okay.
That sounds like a great offer, and I think probably many of us are already beginning to plan our trips. And we've got a message from John Hazlitt from Bristol, England, who would like to get in touch with you, Tom, and help you with your business model. So that could be a very productive chat. You were looking also for some cross-cultural. I don't quite remember what you asked for. Something having to do with cross-cultural connection.
Yeah, collaborations. In any way, talking about certain topics. Just be within the network. I think that would be great.
Okay, who else is interested in having a productive chat with Tom? It looks like Nicola, you are. Yeah, that's the spirit. And Mel, fantastic. Fabulous. Carlos as well. All right, very good. Tom, your network is growing. And Hayden, fantastic. And Joe, fantastic. This is exactly how it works. Amazing. Any more offers for Tom and Cherka Design? I loved how you broke down your name, Tom, and all of the different meanings and all the different languages. I thought that was very cool. And I totally connect with what you're trying to accomplish there. I think, reimagining design, full stop, is just what we need in these times. What if nature were our client? What if regenerative change were our client? And we brought them into the room when we were thinking about designing services or things like that. So totally on board. And, we have a program at Schumacher College focused on eco-design. And maybe there's a student from Schumacher right now who's hearing my voice, who's from that program, who's thinking to herself right now, this minute, hey, maybe we could have a productive chat with Tom.
Lena is on my mind. We can connect Lena as well.
Lena Hayek, yeah, for sure. Let's, please feel free to invest the help of your friends. They're not here, they can't say no. Okay, any more for Tom? Great, I'm happy to see many things in the chat. Who was next? Cecile. Emmanuel Santi pitched second, didn't he? So what kinds of things are you looking for, Emmanuel?
Well, I'm looking for either organization that can, bring this to another country, adapt it. We are happy to customize it. We have a fantastic team of developers in Ukraine. I don't know if I mentioned that we're working with Ukrainian developers that work under the most challenging circumstances, and they're very good. So we could adapt. I mean, in Europe, I mean, the big issues was refugees, but we believe that this platform of connecting people directly could also serve other type of categories depending on the circumstances. We're also looking for like individual ambassadors. We have an ambassadors network that people like, want to be. I'm sending the link to the WhatsApp group. People can just sign up and be connected with this group. You will be the first one to know what's going on and sharing your ideas. Those are already people from different countries that are trying to push individually, which is a bit harder, but yeah, nothing prevents individually to. And then of course, we love feedback from people. Just try, download it, and just tell us how you look at it, how you can improve it. We're looking for ideas, and of course, financing. A lot of this has been self-financed. We had a couple of foundations helping us. We're looking forward, to potentially identify some funders that are interested in circular economy work and be able to sort of help us, give us leads. I'm not asking you for $25, but of course, there's not the purpose. The purpose is really to connect us with potential funders that are able to even potentially finance the expansion in your own community. And then, yes, and ideas are more welcome.
Great. Well, I think I'm going to jump right in there because I think we have some opportunities maybe to use this app or adapt it here in Devon. So I'm going to get in contact with you about that, Emmanuel.
That'd be great. Awesome.
And is it clear how to download the app?
Yeah, actually, if you open the website from your own mobile phone, the link, when you click on download, it will automatically drive you either to your app store, depending on the device that you have. It will push you to the app store of your device, whether it's an app store or a Google Play. And then yes, or you can simply search on your app store. And then you download it, you sign up. Either you can sign up as an organization already and create an organizational profile if you're working in that area. Los Angeles, that'll be fantastic. Yeah. We'd love to work with you. I mean, let's connect. Let's have a separate call and find out how we can expand it to the United States.
Great.
It's already operational. If you want to try just for the fun of it and just post something, it will go on the map automatically. The question is then how to channel it through to the people in need. That's where we need organizations that can not only invigorate a donor community, but can also be a conduit or help us reach to the people in need.
Great. So Tom's making an offer. I love that those who are pitching are making all the offers. That's awesome. Any more support for Emmanuel and Writing the Rainbow? Nicola.
We stay in contact, Emmanuel. Cecil has my data, so contact data. So
absolutely. That's Massimo, right?
Massimo has made an offer too in the chat.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, sorry, who was the last one who spoke?
That was Nicola.
Nicola, I'm not sure I have your contact. Did you?
We'll make sure all those connections happen.
Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And we'd love to expand it in Brazil. I mean, maybe like reconfiguring it in some different way, but the technology is there. So adapting it would be much less difficult than recreating it from scratch.
We will for sure here.
Okay, let's.
Emanuele, how many countries are on your hub?
Well, it's like a dozen of countries, but in many cases, when I say countries, I mean, I'll be very frank and honest. It's like people who have started testing it and trying and distributing. I mean, we only had traction, to be honest, in Italy because we had that and Belgrade, in the city of Belgrade. because we had in Serbia, because we had organization that really took this on and says, oh, I'm going to be promoting it. But as an individual to actually promote it is quite challenging unless you're a super well connected individual that want to create a community around it. I mean, it's a very cool project for schools. It's a great project for CSR, because unlike many CSR projects, like, you know, they decided on a 14th floor, someone decides to issue a check to UNICEF or something, you have a chance to invite your company, the staff, to be donors. So you maximize, you connect, staff will be aware of what you're doing and be able to really be party of it. So there's a lot of opportunities to make it a CSR project where employees can be really engine of this, and literally everyone can help, right? I mean, everyone has.
Thank you.
I mean, especially in affluent cities like Luxembourg, everyone has something in excess.
Grazie, Emanuele.
Thanks so much. We're going to move on because we're going to run out of time otherwise. So thanks very much, Emmanuel, and Writing the Rainbow. Now, Barbara, you had a bunch of asks from Murutulu, and including you offered an invitation for all of us to come and visit. So I think we will.
Sure.
What other offers might we have for Barbara? It's such a great model, creating a nursery for the specific biome, the Mata Atlântica down there in Rio de Janeiro state. What you asked for lots of different things. Let's see.
If someone could help us with, excuse me?
Help with fundraising. You're looking for help with fundraising, correct?
Fundraising, not exactly. Yeah, it could be help. You know,
right.
Somebody that work, biologist, or somebody that could help me to feed the app that I already have, that I pay every month, but I have no time, or I'm not comfortable to do this, and so I have so much information that I could put in and then work easily. That would be a great help for me.
Okay.
And also helping me with social media, and also helping me with project for raise funding, you know, to write projects.
Okay, great. So Carlos, I think, is offering some help. So Carlos, connect with Barbara, put your contact in the chat. Any offers to help with filling out the data in this app? Anybody who can help with that? Or you're looking for help from a biologist? Does anybody know a biologist in Brazil who would be interested in helping out?
Or a forest engineer, or somebody that work with environment, you know, because there's a lot of information about the trees and the species and the weight of the seeds and stuff. That takes me time, you know. It could be somebody with no knowledge, specific knowledge to do that, but that would be willing to understand, you know, the way it has to be fed, and so could stay here with us a little bit, or could do it from somewhere else.
Fantastic. So Isabel's made a suggestion in the chat. Isabel, could you make some introductions to university students or to universities? If you can, that would be great, and you can add that to the chat.
I do talk to universities, but it's not enough, you know, not strong enough, but I am talking to the universities.
Fabulous. And fabulous. Isabel says, yes, she can help in that. Great suggestion too from Robbie. Check out Globe International. But let's move on. We're gonna keep the connections going, by the way. So there'll be opportunities after this event to make some connections and make some offers. Now, Schumacher College. So you guys were asking for some help with co-designing an international network for resilient, regenerative, holistic learning, supporting Schumacher with skills and knowledge, especially around reinvention of a new model, perhaps, or things like that. And then anything else that you think you could chip in to help Schumacher College take the next big step into the future. Any offers of anything, Nicola?
I would like to get closer and understand how can I help? You know, how can I get this network stronger of students and ex-students of Schumacher who wants to see it, you know, thriving always. So I'm here to get stronger with Schumacher.
And Mel, you're an alumni, aren't you?
Yeah.
Awesome. I saw Nicola, your hand went up also.
Yes, I want to come to UK and to spend some time there and to see what can be done.
Is there anybody out there who can see the opportunity to co-design a new educational model that is distributed and networked?
I'd be really interested.
Tom, yes, Tom.
I mean, co-design, of course.
But Tom, grab your luggage. We go to UK.
Okay.
And just to chip in, it's not only a Schumacher-led network, but if it wasn't clear in the presentation, we have it in mind that we very much want to connect with similar institutions across the globe who are creating learning spaces that are I guess have a similar ethos and ecology with which they work. So it's not just about making Schumacher stronger, but making all institutions like Schumacher stronger around the world.
So there could be an opportunity to build a network that includes other institutions. Is this what you're saying, Kat?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. Does anybody know any progressive educational institutions? Oh, okay, we've got a couple.
All right.
Really great. Maybe one of the things that emerges here is developing an event around building that sort of network.
That would be great.
So Cecile and Mel, you were both putting your hands up, and Tom. So if you have connections, great, fantastic. Throw them into the chat. Any other offers for Schumacher?
Yeah, maybe I can help. I don't know, Nicola, if you're better with names than I am, but I remember in our Catalyst lab that we had here, there's someone who designed a program at the University of St. Gallen. So I'm sure if I can find her name, we can link her up with them as well. Not so sure if it's regeneration, it's still sustainability, but I guess they're very interested, or yeah, she's very engaged in social entrepreneurship and that kind of stuff as well. So maybe she can help there as well in set things up. So maybe we can at least create a link with her.
That sounds fantastic, Massimo. So hopefully you wrote some notes down on that, Nicola. Asher.
Just wondering if you are looking for links to the community that's interested in what's happening with Dartington Estate, where Schumacher's hosted, because there's quite a growing movement. And I think that there'll be support from the bottom up, from people who are not necessarily connected with Schumacher, who would like Schumacher to be on the agenda as a place that should be supported.
Yeah, the march on the 9th you're speaking to, and
well, for starters, but I think that's just a march. I think
yeah.
I'm sure that will continue.
Yeah. And what's beautiful about that one specifically is that those are also alumni who are helping organize that event. So yeah, no, and this is the thing that we're trying to do is it's not easy sometimes with so many different social medias and areas to organize, but to build that container so that we can be in one kind of cohesive movement, right? So I think that's one of our short-term goals as well, is to provide one kind of support narrative to illuminate and document the journey that Dartington's going through, and seeing how Schumacher can help support that as well beyond the educational institution. But and then to that, I just wanted to add, we don't know where to have it come into specifically. We have a couple different Schumacher tendrils, the Schumacher Society, and as the school is kind of going through this financial issue, the income to support the students and staff right now, I think, would be an incredible benefit. So if anyone has any ideas for even just small pools of money to kind of get through this particular transitional time, that would be a really amazing thing too. So I'm just throwing that out there. We mentioned in the pitch, but yeah.
So if anyone has links to funding pots for this kind of education, let these guys know. Also, keep your eyes open for future fundraising and other calls for support for Schumacher. So if you're interested in just being on that list, then you can send an email to these guys. And what was that email address again, Kat and Joe? If you put that in the chat, then you'll have that. Any more for Schumacher?
Yes. Sorry, just to quickly add in response to Ash's question, is in our discussions, we very much highlighted going forward, we feel the importance of Schumacher and its college and its next phase, that it really strengthens its tendrils out to the local community, and that includes organizations, groups, social enterprises, so that that those connections are much stronger than they might have been in the past going forward. We see that as a really important step. So to be much more strongly locally rooted, but also globally connected. And there's so much shared learning with these kinds of institutions that we can share with each other. And again, we fundamentally believe they need to exist across the globe.
Thanks, Kat. Tanya, you have your hand up.
Yes, I just want to tell that I'm a computer science teacher, and I worked in Ukraine at the biggest technologies school in Ukraine. We create some experiments how to develop new knowledges about technologies for teenagers and high school students. And now I'm working on a computer game about cybersecurity for secondary school, for Luxembourgish secondary school. So if you will need help with this technology area, I would like to help and join.
Awesome. Put your if you can make a note of that in the chat, that would be great. But I can see by the clock on the wall that we're coming to the end of our time. But this doesn't have to be the end. In fact, I would suggest that we never meant this to be the end of anything, but only the beginning. So if you see in the chat right now, I've just put in the link to our Open Collective page for this event. I'm going to pop into that page the chat. I'm also going to post any of the presentations. So if all of you will email to me or to Cecile or Mel or Nicola your PowerPoints, I will also put them in there. And we're gonna try to keep this reverberating. So we've all made some new connections. I thank you so much for coming. And this is an experiment. We keep experimenting and we keep learning about how this works and maybe how it could work differently. Thank you so much for participating. Nicola, Mel, Cecile, any last words from you?
Yeah, actually, it would be nice that, like a popcorn, maybe if any one of you can say one word from what you've just experienced to close this forum. And yes, any feeling, my favorite, of course, it's love. And we can achieve a lot with that energy. So anyone who wants to say one word and what you feel after this experience?
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Joyful.
Inspiration.
Connectedness.
Reverence.
Diverse.
Motivated.
Inspired.
Optimistic.
Amazing. Thanks, everybody. Last words, Mel, Nicola, Cecile?
Thank you all to believe in this, and let's do it lots of times again.
Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
It's the
so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
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 Bye.